Welcome back. Violent attacks on members of South Africa's lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender communities are continuing. Reports show that 1 in 4 South Africans know someone who's been murdered because of their sexual orientation. Recently, artist and socialite Aubrey Bushuku was stabbed multiple times outside his home in what is suspected to be another LGBTQI+ hate crime. Let's speak now to the founder of Thami Dish Foundation, Thami Kotlolo, about this ongoing scourge. Thami, it's not such a good afternoon when we talk about this ongoing hate and murder of LGBTQI+ members. How do you respond to this ongoing thing? I mean, your foundation is among several NGOs that's trying to educate people and create awareness about this ongoing scourge.
You know, thank you, Braden. There's nothing really to, celebrate now. Today marks the International Pride Day, and we find ourselves here today talking about issues of the brutal killings of queer people. You highlight issues around education in your question earlier, and how we've done a lot of work with sensitizing communities. But I think what we should actually be looking at, Braden, is the amount of inquiries that have gone through to government previously on the number of hate crimes that have been registered or reported, and how we still don't have a hate crimes bill that's passed through our legislation. But also how we have many other numbers of queer bodies that don't go accounted for and never get registered as hate crimes. So it's troublesome. It's problematic because there's been so many attempts to talk to Department of Justice, to talk to SAPS about the structures that they put in place that are supposed to be national task teams that look at the number of cases and the different issues that we have as queer people, but there actually hasn't been enough reporting on what has been done ever since those structures have been put in place. I think another big issue, Braden, is how we just basically have not prioritized this as part of the programs that we run as the country. I mean, you look at how we speak to issues around GBV on a daily basis. We speak to issues around bullying on a daily basis, but in our messaging, there's never really enough emphasis put on how or on queer people, anti-bullying, homophobic bullying, looking at, intimate partner violence that exists, looking at, just anti-homophobic campaigns that the country can run.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
We're looking at a number now, and we say
another one.
We say we can
person,
count like 12.
Yeah, and another person has been killed, and it keeps on going on. I was one of our editors, Peter Mutlosi at ENC, this morning shared with our editorial team a tweet by Phumzile Mlambo. You know Phumzile Mlambo. Phumzile Mlambo. She's at the UN Women. She heads up UN Women. And she tweeted earlier, wishing a happy Pride to all those who are celebrating progress and calling for action around LGBTQI+ rights. And then the words that popped on her tweet are justice, respect, protection, advocacy, solidarity, and inclusion. And then I thought perhaps maybe this time around President Cyril Ramaphosa this year might also tweet about this important issue of LGBTQI+ rights. And up to now I haven't seen anything on the presidency of South Africa, because I think it begins with leadership. If our leaders, like a president of the country, his voice can be heard promoting the rights of the LGBTQI community, it will go a long way to assist. Am I wrong?
Look, I mean, it's one thing we've done right. We've reached out to the presidency, at least at the very beginning of this massacre, we really, requested the presidency and the leadership to speak out on the killings. And what we received was, a statement that was read during Freedom Day that didn't really look at specifically addressing the issues of the killings of queer people in this country. I think, we remain an example, and we remain a country that needs to lead on by example, especially when you look at addressing queer issues across the continent. You were talking about what Mampumzile was tweeted, and I was reading a tweet earlier on that yesterday in Uganda they raided a shelter where queer people are, and they arrested 44 queer bodies and have taken them in for questioning. So if we as South Africans are struggling and we don't have great leadership that can, possibly take these or speak out on issues like this, then we really have a problem. I mean,
yes,
we're counting just, a small number, but there's a bigger number, and that responsibility needs to they need to take responsibility.
Yeah, Thami, we don't have a lot of time. There's a developing story we're tracking of the Pan-African Parliament that's taking place in Midrand. You saw there was chaos there yesterday. We witnessed some violent scenes. They are meeting now. Apparently something is happening in there. Our cameraman is going inside. But I need you to be brief in answering my next question because of that developing story that we might have to go there if and when we get the camera inside. What would you like, as the Thami Dish Foundation, like to see us as South Africans do in terms of advancing the rights of your community?
Look, I mean, these are, we always say when we call out government that we should also start calling out, every citizen in this country, but also look within our own families. So you can't win this struggle unless every citizen in this country plays their part. So I'm happy when you guys as ENCA continue to carry these stories, but I think there's more that needs to happen.
Okay.
There are more conversations that need to go out. And I think everybody else needs to play their part now, because it's enough.
Yeah, we all can do something about this. We have to show solidarity. We have to also to protect our loved ones who are in the LGBTQI communities and everybody else. Thank you very much, Thami Dish from the Thami Dish Foundation, Thami Kotlolo there. It is International Pride Day after all. Mampumzile she tweeted from the UN Women about the need for justice, respect, protection, advocacy, solidarity, and inclusion. We can all play our part. Okay.